Welcome back everyone. Today I'm gonna put all the Sky Striker cards on a tier list. Sky Striker was the most dominant deck of 2018. Quite a significant part of 2019. It's still, well, I guess it's not too relevant anymore. It won the LCS, but most players have decided to put Sky Striker on back into their binder. It was by far one of the most powerful decks we've had. It was obnoxiously strong. It had a lot of recursion, it had a lot of resilience, it could take on a lot of decks, it could outvalue a lot of them. It wouldn't really lose to like the bad decks. It struggled to deal with like Thunder Dragons and a lot of other heavy control decks, but it could take on most decks very well. It had a lot of ridiculous cards. So the thing with Striker is, with Salamangreat we had to add an extra tier for E tier, but with Striker we actually have to add like a tier above S tier. These cards are just so absurd, like SS. Some of these cards are just ridiculous. We'll go through like some of them. So we'll go through the links first. Hiatus is an S tier card. It attacks directly. It pushes for damage, especially under like Mystic Mine. You can play a really defensive game and then just towards time you just snipe them for 1500 as well. It's very powerful, and that's not even like cheating, it's just how Sky Striker plays. It's a very slow deck that outgrinds most other decks through its insane recursion. Kagari's a SS tier. Getting an engage back from your graveyard, or getting engaged back from graveyard, or the possibility of that is so absurd. Yeah, it gains 100 attack for every spell in your graveyard, so it usually stacks onto like 25, 26, 3000 attack pretty easily towards the mid-late game. It was so powerful, it got limited, and now it's back at 3, but because Engage is gone, but Kagari is just absurd. Kaina is a solid A tier card. So you summon it, you target one monsters, and then they can't attack until the end of that turn. And then every time you activate a spell card, you gain 100 life points. That effect is just so pointless. It makes them win games in time that they don't deserve to win. But it's a very strong defensive option, and means you can't get OTK'd a lot of time by just special summoning it. And yeah, Shizuku is an S tier card. Shizuku reduces opponent's monsters' attack by 100 for every spell in your graveyard. So oftentimes they just lose a lot of attack points and can't deal with your board. Especially relevant in like Altergeist matchups where you could make the Melisy go to 0 attack, and it wouldn't, even though it could attack directly, you just wouldn't trigger its effect. Yeah. Ray, very powerful card. You really need to see him in like every game. The fact that she can special summon herself whenever one of your Sky Striker monsters leaves the field, or Sky Striker Ace Link monsters leaves the field, whether it's like destruction or return to the extra deck, it summons itself. Very powerful, and then it has a spell speed 2 effect where it attributes itself to summon a Sky Striker monster from extra deck, so it can attack directly and then use its effect, or you can use it with Area 0 or multi-roll to get free triggers. Rose's effect: if a Sky Striker Ace monster's normal summon or special summon except itself, you can special summon it from your hand. And if your opponent's monster in the extra monster zone is destroyed by battle or leaves the field because of your card or effect, because it's in the graveyard, you special summon it. And then you can negate the effect of one monster they control. It's an A tier card. She's released recently. She didn't really get to play in full power Sky Striker. But she's still like an extra name that you can link into these monsters with. And then graveyard, it can come back later to push for more damage. You have Zeke, which is another A tier card. Zeke is a link 2, so you need two monsters, including Sky Striker Ace monster. And it must be link summon. You can only special summon it once per turn. If it's link summon, you can target one face-up monster on the field. You banish it till your opponent's next end phase. It gets rid of problematic cards, and then once per turn, you can target one other card you control. It gains 1000 attack, just so it can push for damage. Or you can get rid of like excess monsters on your field. Area 0, another A tier card. So you can target one card, you control, you reveal the top 3 of your deck, and if one of them is a Sky Strike, you can add it to your hand and then shuffle the rest in. Best feelings when you hit engage off this card. Also to note that it doesn't send the card you targeted if you miss, so sometimes you do get in situations where you don't hit a Sky Striker card and then your Metal Foes Fusion stays on the field. But usually you paired it with Ray, and then you tribute Ray to summon whatever, and then you reveal 3 anyway. The greedy players, you go for like Kaino or Hayate, and then you hit something, you activate it, and then you cut Gare back. At the safe players, you go for Shizuku. You assess the rest of your hand, obviously. It's also the greedy play because they can just stop that effect as well, and then you lose your Ray for good. Like if they had like Call by the Grave or something. Afterburners. Honestly, I don't know if I can actually put any card in this archetype below like B tier. Afterburners is good as a one-off because you could destroy a monster and then you can destroy a spell or trap on the field without targeting it, force your opponent to play really awkwardly to try and get value off their spells and traps before they lose it. You can also destroy your own field spell if you really need to get a monster out. Eagle Booster, A tier. I'm not sure who thought it was a good idea to make a monster immune to everything. It was played in the Goki deck as well, where you just really need to protect your monster from any form of interaction. It made it so that you couldn't lose a lot of your games. You summon Shizuku, you have an Eagle Booster, you probably weren't dying that turn because it couldn't be destroyed by battle and it's unaffected by any other cards. Engage is a double S tier card. So it's a conditional Pot of Greed, but better than Pot of Greed. Because, like, it's better than Pot of Greed when you have 3 spells in the graveyard and no monsters on the field. Because you got to see 2 cards like Pot of Greed, but one of the cards you get to choose, and generally choosing card is better than a random card. Because, like, what are you looking for when you draw a card? If you're using it before your combo, it's to see more combo pieces, which Engage can just get. And if it's after your combo, you're just looking for disruption, which Engage can get. You can get like Eagle Booster if you don't want to die that turn. You can get Afterburners or Jamming Waves if you need removal. You can add Widow Anchor if you need effect negation. You can add Shark Cannon if you need more disruption. Yeah. Hercules Base is a B tier card. You still played it. It wasn't the worst card. You can equip it to your monster, and then it can attack. It can't attack directly, but it can attack twice, and if it destroys a monster with its attack, you can draw a card. So you can actually draw 2 cards with it if you attack twice. When you attack twice with it, and if it's sent to a graveyard from the field to graveyard for a card's effect, you can target up to 3 Sky Striker cards in your graveyard and shuffle them into deck. Usually use that to recycle your Kagaris. It was a flex pick. A lot of people, like, it came in and out of decks. Yeah. There's not much else to say. Hornet Drone's a double S card. It's an S tier card in old Sky Striker where you just needed a way to get to the Link monsters, and in every other deck it's an SS card. It's just absurd. It's a free this is when Kagari was like you could engage into this. Every deck would just play Engage and Hornet Drones because that's a free warrior, it's a free Link 2, it's 2 bodies, it's whatever you want it to be. And with the sometimes benefit of you drawing a card. So it was absolutely busted. Token's definitely busted. Token's a dark warrior that you didn't have to normal summon, so it's absurd. Jamming Waves, another A tier card. You can destroy a spell or trap, and then if you have 3 or more spells in graveyard, you can destroy a monster without targeting it, so it gets rid of monsters which can't be targeted. Multi-Roll is a double S tier card. It's a Spellbook of Judgment. At the same time, it prevents your opponent from responding to your spell, which is absurd. And it's not just like your Sky Striker spells, it's any spell. So like your Call by the Graves, or any spell really. It's just absurd. And the second effect is actually busted. Next one is Scissor Cross. So If you control no monsters, you can target one level 4 Sky Strike in your graveyard at your hand, or if you have 3 or more spell cards, you can special summon instead. I don't think it's for any play. Okay, I guess there are unplayed Sky Striker cards. And I guess Spectre Blast as well. If you control no monsters in your main monster zone, each player sends the top 2 cards of deck to your graveyard. Then if you send at least 1 to your graveyard and have 3 or more spells in your graveyard, you can shuffle all monsters in your opponent's extra monster into your deck. You didn't see play either. Widow Anchor's it's SS tier card. It's a breakthrough skill that can be it's a quick play spell, so it's better than a breakthrough skill that also sometimes says enemy controller. Card's absolutely stupid. And Shark Cannon's an A tier card, so it's sometimes a DD Crow and sometimes autonomous action unit. Yeah, there's not much to say about that. It's really powerful at disrupting your opponent. It made the Orcus Mirror really silly as well when Lancia was being played. Like, you would summon their Lancia, and then you would lock them under their own Lancia. You could summon back their Kagari and use their Kagari against them, especially when Kagari was at 1. You could, yeah, just a bunch of silly ways. You can special summon a monster so that you can link them all away to summon a Borrow Sword or an access code to be able to kill them really quickly. And yeah, so Sky Striker is actually a ridiculous deck with all these, like, not even just S tier cards, like double S tier cards. I don't think anyone can really refute how powerful these cards were relative to like every other card. Yeah, let me know if you agree with my list or not, where you would put these cards. Like, do you think I'm really overvaluing how good these cards were? Okay, maybe the token was just good. It wasn't like absurd good, but like, yeah. Let me know. Thank you for watching, and let me know what archetype you want me to do next.